I want to talk about a topic that is very close to my heart, and it is the problem that I have with the coaching industry and why I completed a Bachelor of Science in life coaching. The coaching scene is booming, and that is not without a reason. A lot of people need a guiding hand in difficult times of their lives, in difficult phases, which we have a lot at the moment, over and over again. And there is of course therapy, and then there is coaching, but coaching or the profession of a coach is not something that is protected, at least in Germany, as of 2024. And the problem with that is that everyone on this planet can call themselves a coach, can work as a coach, can earn money as a coach, and also train other people to become coaches. So since influencers have been able to make money online and through social media, and since social media is growing a lot, these people often mistake their large following for a certification or an adequate training in order to coach people. And then they offer retreats and they offer one-on-one coachings and group coachings and whatnot. And a lot of coachings appear all over the place, like health coachings, life coachings, money mindset coachings, business coachings, and oftentimes they cost a lot of money. So why is it extremely dangerous that everyone can call themselves a coach? As I said, a lot of people, they don't have adequate training to know certain things that you definitely need to know as a coach. And I'm not saying that every seminar or every training is something that you should not do because it's not worth it, but there's a lot of short courses like weekend seminars and that stuff. And from my experience of studying this whole topic for more than 3 years, I know that there's a lot of things that you definitely need to know as a coach, especially, for example, knowing mental illnesses, and also when you are not able to coach people but when they really need professional help. And if people that coach others cannot see this correctly, this can actually have, in the worst case, fatal consequences for the coachees. So how come that these self-proclaimed coaches and also influencers who are not well trained are still very successful and also earn a lot of money? In my opinion, it's because they appeal to a very specific group of people, which is also quite large, namely people that are in challenging phases of their lives, who need help, who are really wanting to change their lives, and who are also therefore desperate to change. And they're easily influenced maybe, or they are so desperate that they just take whatever they find in consideration in order to change something in their lives. And then they are also wanting to pay large sums in order to be helped. And this is also often because they are promised immediate changes or very big changes, but usually it just stays a promise and there are no real long-lasting results. So when we think about social media, we see a lot of lives presented, and they usually do not depict reality. They are just some nice images of what a really nice life can look like, but yeah, as I said, it has nothing to do with reality. These people who are desperate and who need really change in their life might be lulled into these depictions of lives because they want that and they crave this and they're really desperate, and I'm using this word a lot, but it is what they are. And I know this because I've been there myself, and I was also lulled into all of these stories, and then at some point realized that this is just a story and not real life. When these people see these depictions of lives on Instagram, which are not a depiction of reality, they might feel FOMO, the fear of missing out, and then are even more prone to buy coachings or retreats that are really high priced, usually, not all the time, and often are priced with so-called angel numbers. I don't have anything against angel numbers, they might be amazing, but it is something that I personally don't like that much, that people kind of justify their high prices with these spiritual numbers like 2,222. And one big problem is that also a lot of coaches make these health promises, which is forbidden in Germany unless you are a trained, certified doctor that has actually a degree. Oftentimes people are promised these big changes when they imitate a lifestyle that these coaches or influencers depict on social media. And this is what I like to call the Holy Grail coaching, or the Holy Grail promises, which means that someone has found something that was amazing for them personally and what worked amazingly for a certain problem they had. And then they go out because they have the solution to a problem and they expect everyone else's problem also to be solved with this one solution they found, which is then treated like a holy grail, but it is not, because oftentimes you cannot just copy another person's life and expect your life to be then like theirs, because you are very unique and they are very unique, and maybe sometimes things work for you as well, what works for other people, but usually you have to make some changes or somehow personalize these kind of ways towards a certain goal that you want to achieve, or a solution to a certain problem that you specifically have. And also a lot of this information is on the internet for free. There are so many amazing YouTube channels, for example, who create great videos on personality development or some coaching content as well. And I'm not saying don't get a coach or something, because this is also what I do for a living, but I'm just saying some certain information that they might depict as a holy grail, and that they say you will only get when you buy their retreat or their coaching or their online class or masterclass or whatever, is also out there for free usually. And they make this promise that you've never heard of that before in your life and that your life will be absolutely changed. But this is just marketing, you guys. So people who are really good at marketing themselves are also really good at inspiring people, at polarizing people, for example, at huge events. And of course, this can be enough to spark inspiration in people and also really bring about big changes and positive changes in their lives. But when I'm coaching people, I always want to strive for long-term results that really change the foundations of their lives, if this is necessary, and not just have them be motivated for a week or a month or maybe even a year, because this is not long-lasting for me. I want information or the things that I teach to sink in deeply, and this is only possible if you really know what you're talking about, if you really have a lot of knowledge about this topic and maybe also experience through an adequate training. For me, one of the most important things about this is that just like therapy, coaching should be available to everyone and not just to some very rich people who can pay the big bucks in order for the coach to make the big bucks. It should be not motivated by making money and becoming rich, but I think wanting to coach people and wanting to help people and also getting a really good training in that should be motivated by helping people and by enhancing other people's lives. And it also made me think about what justifies these high prices. There are retreats that cost thousands of dollars and also coaching sessions that cost thousands of dollars per hour. Is it because these people are really well trained? Is it because they have a lot of experience? Or is it just because they have a lot of followers? So I think in the end, the most important thing to keep in mind is that you cannot, never or should not compare the success of a person as an influencer or as an online personality with their success as a coach, which means having people really change their lives in a positive way and motivate them for long-term changes and long-term results. This is not the same. And I'm not saying that online personalities or these coaches with really short trainings or influencers cannot have these long-term results in their coachees, but I'm just saying this is a difference and you have to be aware of that before, especially before you buy programs and coachings that cost a really, really high price. So I don't want to shame anybody, or I don't want to criticize all the coaches out there, because I think it's good that we have them, and it's really important in times like now that we have people helping others and also offering great services and great programs and great retreats and great coachings. But it is something to be aware of, especially in times of inauthenticity, especially on social media, where everyone can pretend to be someone who they may be not. And I've heard a lot of stories about people who were lulled into these promises that people were making, but who didn't realize at that time that they were just trying to make money themselves, or were struggling, but they depicted this beautiful life that they had, but it was nothing more than, yeah, a picture they've painted, and it had nothing to do with reality. And I know I'm saying this a lot, but by creating this awareness, also the people who might not be able to sell themselves so great online get a chance to coach people and help others, because they're really, really good at it. And this is what counts when it comes to coaching, when it comes to life coaching and to this profession. And I also hope that this profession will be certified at some point, or that this will be, like, the profession of coach will be protected at some point. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I hope I could get a little bit more awareness with this video.